Hello, my name is Denise Kelleher and I am one of the midwives and the infant feeding coordinator here at UCLH. I would like to welcome you to this online breastfeeding workshop. We hope that you find these videos informative and feel better prepared for the arrival of your baby. As well as these videos, there is also an extensive list of resources on the UCLH website. During these videos, we will be focusing on 5 areas. The first is the health benefits of breastfeeding to the mother, baby, and family. Secondly, we will be exploring the value of skin to skin. Third, we will look at the importance of correct positioning and attachment. Our fourth area is hand expressing. And finally, we will look at the importance of close and loving relationships for optimal brain development. The maternity unit at UCLH has been UNICEF Baby Friendly accredited since 2012. This means that as a service, we should be supporting mothers to make an informed choice about how they feed their baby. All mothers will be supported in their chosen feeding method. At UCLH, our breastfeeding initiation rate is usually around 90%. During the antenatal period, you should already have been provided with the following leaflets: Off to the Best Start and Building a Happy Baby. These leaflets will help form the foundation for the information that we are discussing today. In order to make an informed choice about how you feed your baby, it is important that you understand the health benefits of breastfeeding. This is not a conclusive list, but includes those health benefits for which there is the strongest evidence. The benefits of breastfeeding are optimized when the baby is exclusively breastfed and are also dose related. So the longer the exposure, the more benefits the baby receives. The Department of Health recommends that babies are breastfed at least until the end of the first year, with the first 6 months being exclusive. The optimal welcome for baby following delivery is to spend the first couple of hours in skin to skin with the mother where clinically possible. Where this is not clinically possible, skin to skin should commence at the earliest opportunity. Skin to skin following birth is beneficial for all babies. It helps the baby to establish and maintain a normal temperature, regulates the heart rate and the respiratory rate, calms the baby after the stress of birth, helps the bonding process with the mother and baby, and facilitates the first breastfeed. Babies go through 9 distinct stages in the first hour of skin to skin following birth. These help the baby to adapt to life outside of the womb and progress to their first breastfeed. Correct positioning and attachment are considered the cornerstone of successful breastfeeding. Where there is correct positioning and attachment, there will be good milk transfer, a good milk supply, the mother will feel comfortable when feeding and avoid sore nipples, engorgement and mastitis. Learning a new skill takes time, practice and support. We can break positioning and attachment down into 4 segments. The first one is the position of the mother. This can be summarized as comfortable and sustainable. For the position of the baby, we use the acronym CHIN. C for close, H for head free to tilt, I in line, N nose to nipple. How the baby attaches to the breast. Firstly, the baby must open their mouth wide. When the mother sees this, she must move the baby swiftly onto the breast, leading with the chin and aiming the nipple up into the roof and the back of the baby's mouth. Once the baby is on the breast, it is possible to make an assessment of whether the attachment is correct. The chin should be indenting the breast tissue. The lips should be wide open and the lower lip particularly flanged. There may be more areola visible above the top lip. The cheeks should be round and full. The nose should be free. The baby should be sucking rhythmically with pauses and the mother should feel comfortable. Now I'm going to demonstrate the principles that I just described around the positioning of the baby. I'm going to use what is known as cross cradle. So going back to chin, C, I'm going to have the baby close. H, I'm going to hold the baby so that the head is free to tilt. I, in line, no twisting at the neck or at the hips. And then I will line the baby up so that the nose is opposite the nipple. You don't have to remain in this position throughout the feed. You can move your arms to what feels more comfortable. Alternatively, some mothers may choose to hold their babies in cradle or in the rugby position or feed their babies lying down. Regardless, the principles are always the same. Pregnant women start producing colostrum from 16 to 20 weeks in the pregnancy. Colostrum is the ideal first food. It works as a mild laxative, but is also a low volume, high density product. Your baby's stomach will be about the size of this marble on the day that they are born. This will increase to this size on about day 3 and this size on day 10. In the first 24 to 48 hours, your baby may feed 3 or 4 times in each 24-hour period. As the milk comes through between days 3 and 5, the frequency of feeding will increase to 8 to 12 feeds per 24-hour period. Your baby's urine output on day 1 would be expected to be 1 wet nappy, increasing to 2 on 2, 3 on 3, 4 on 4, and by day 5 at least 6 wet nappies per 24 hours. The substance that your babies will pass following delivery is called meconium. This will change from the dark appearance that you initially see to a brown, then green, then yellow feces by day 4. All babies are weighed at birth. Most babies will next be weighed when they are 5 days old. We expect babies to lose weight in the first few days. Up to 8% of their birth weight is considered normal. Babies should be back at their birth weight by the time they are 10 to 14 days old. We advocate that you breastfeed your baby responsively. This means feeding your baby whenever they display a feeding cue, whenever your breasts are full, or if you want to offer your baby closeness and comfort. You cannot spoil your baby, and you cannot overfeed your breastfed baby. Hand expressing is a useful skill for all mothers to have, but it is particularly beneficial for mothers who have a baby on the neonatal unit, or for mothers whose babies are reluctant to start breastfeeding in the first couple of days. There are 3 stages to hand expressing. The first is massage. This can be done with an open palm or a closed fist and is simply about touch. It's about replicating what would have happened if you were breastfeeding and you had picked your baby up and brought them close to you. You need to do this for about 1 to 2 minutes. You then move on to nipple rolling between 2 of your fingers. When you're breastfeeding, there is direct stimulation of the nipple and areola, and this is what you are mimicking at this stage. Again, a minute or 2 is enough. Third stage is to place your fingers in a C shape and place the pads of your fingers about 2 to 3 centimeters from the base of the nipple on the breast tissue. You then need to push back into the chest wall and firmly compress what's between your fingers, holding for a few seconds. If after a few of these compressions you do not see any colostrum, it may be necessary to examine whether you should bring your fingers closer to the nipple or further away. Please remember when you're doing this exercise that hand expressing is not just about accessing colostrum, it's also about stimulation to the breast. After a period of hand expressing, you may find that the milk stops flowing. The first thing that you should do is check that your fingers haven't slipped from the ideal position. Once you've ruled that out as a cause, if the milk is still not flowing, rotate your fingers to another part of your breast. Push back into the chest wall. Compress the tissue between your fingers for a few seconds. Release. Repeat and release. This is mimicking how babies press the chin, lower jaw and tongue against the breast tissue and remove the milk. There are 2 crucial periods for brain development. The first is conception until the end of the 2nd year. The second is adolescence. When babies are feeling loved and well cared for, they release the hormone oxytocin, which facilitates optimal brain development. When babies are feeling stressed, they will release the hormone cortisol, which has the opposite effect. Please see your Building a Happy Baby leaflet for more information. As UCLH is a UNICEF baby-friendly accredited maternity service, you can be assured that all the staff have been trained to provide evidence-based supportive care. Staff will complete breastfeeding assessments with you during each shift and before you are discharged home. This will include establishing the frequency and duration of feeds, your baby's output, where appropriate their weight, and how feeding is being experienced by you. Please be aware that when you are transferred home with your baby, there is support for you in the community. Your community midwife will visit you, your health visitor will also make contact with you, and there are usually a number of local and national services that you can access. We look forward to seeing you at the maternity unit at UCLH for the birth of your baby and supporting you with your feeding journey.